I'm here with Jason at Washingborough Academy, and this is a food education school. And so we're looking at barriers of how to become a food education school. And this barrier is children and teachers, and getting them bought into the whole program. How did you do that?
I think it's creating champions of it. It's a slow process as well. It's not something that will happen overnight. It's giving support, and that includes continual professional development, CPD. It's allocating budgets towards it and being confident and self-assured that that budget is going to make a difference to your children's learning, not just thinking, oh, all of the budget has to go on academic achievement. Okay, this will support academic achievement. As I said, providing good professional development for teachers, and there are a number of organisations that can support you with that, because teachers are maybe not so confident with their own cooking schools, and it's giving them that awareness and letting them learn alongside the children as well.
And this is almost part of your Taste Ed program.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that gets the teachers involved, and it also gets the kids involved. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, that's sensory food-based education. Taste Ed is a program or a charity that myself and the food writer and historian Ben Wilson have set up, and it's in about 120, 150 schools currently, and it's about going right back down to the basics of exploring food through your senses. Everything that we know through our senses, and children are very adept at that, especially in the younger years, in nursery, in foundation stage and key stage 1. It's about talking about food, it's about observing it and thinking, why is that different from, why is that apple different from another apple there, and articulating that, creating word walls that children can write on, and staff can create that language from there, the vocabulary from it. It's about putting different types of vegetables and fruits into a sock or a box and just feeling it and not looking at it and describing those textures. And ultimately, it's about tasting it. If the children want to, there's no pressure there for them to do that.
Because whereas at home, you've got to eat that.
Yeah, there is that emotional attachment that you've got with it.
This is touchy-feely.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to try that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's food education is very basics, and that then gives that kind of levering for teachers who maybe not as confident and don't want to cook in front of children. That's a big step.
And
to then
they're the missed generation as well, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly.
No education.
Yeah,
So it's them discovering as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And what other ways do you get the kids to buy in? I mean, around here you've got veg patches.
Yeah.
So they're getting their hands dirty. And
they are. You've got the growing aspect, but that shouldn't be a barrier to schools that don't have that. I think it's getting the key resources. I know we'll talk about that later, about resources for teachers using it. It's things like induction hobs. Gone are the days of the baby belly and the worries about their health and safety barriers. You can get an induction hob for about £60 now that you put in the classroom, but getting the kind of resources like bowls and wooden spoons and cut gloves are great things.
Right.
We discovered that found out teachers were really worried about children using sharp knives, and as they should, with cutting things and then cutting their hands. But you can buy children's cut gloves where they don't get themselves cut at all.
Oh, wow.
And of course that then breaks down that barrier of the health and safety risk for it.
That's really cool.
So I think getting a good programme of learning, good programme of study, which Taste Ed can provide in their initial stages, getting the resources in, consumables and the permanent resources, and giving it time as well.
Yeah, because last time I was here, I was given a little frittata, and that was something that the previous class had made, and they were selling it to the other kids. But that's another kid's buy-in, isn't it?
Yeah,
because other kids going, who made that?
So that's our snack shack, where children, on a Tuesday, they make a snack for the following day's break time on a Wednesday, and they sell it for 50p. Now the ingredients in total may cost us £10, but we regularly make £40 or £50 a week on that, and of course that money then can go into other projects through our food education. So we're at the stage now where it's not impacting on our total budget. We're creating an income from various projects that we do that then support the food education budget.
So this is the barrier of funding that we're going to talk about later.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. That's brilliant.